Live from Soho, New York City, United States, planet Earth, it's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Hey everybody.
Yeah.
Planet Earth in what? The future, right? We're from the future?
Yeah, well, the speeding away from the planet right now, someone's probably broadcasting in some way, so maybe
Into space.
another civilization is going to look at this at some point and say, hey, can I wash that? Can I wash those wearable electronics? Be the first question. Alien context.
Welcome to the show,
Yeah.
everybody. If you're late to the party, you can wash your wearable electronics.
Yeah, you did a complete video series about this.
We're going to celebrate all that's cool in wearable this week. Phil, what's on today's show?
Today's show, the code is Cyberpunk. This is going to be exciting because Cyberpunk is like one of my favorite things. 10% off everything in the Floor and Wearables category expires 11:59 p.m. tonight because that's when Cyberpunk people get turned into
Pumpkins?
cyber pumpkins. I don't know.
Cyber pumpkins?
Wearable Wednesday.
It's where we teach you we show you what's cool this week around the internet and debut a new project.
Component of the week.
We show you a fun component and why you might like to use it in your projects.
Material Spotlight.
A neat material that you might not have heard of and how to use it.
And questions and answers. You have questions, Becky has answers.
If you have any questions during the show, you can leave them in the comments below the video on YouTube or on the blog or on Google Plus or wherever you're watching, or on Twitter. And we'll include them in a future show, which will make you eligible for the show's giveaway. Ask good questions, get good prizes.
Yeah, there are some good questions. I've been watching them bubble up on Twitter. If you're watching it live now and you didn't get a chance to put your question, you can do it now.
Yeah, do
You
it
can do
now,
it.
and we queue them up for the following week because I curate your question. I prepare
Yeah.
answers, added value.
Yeah.
Not just doing this off the cuff.
Nope. We print cuffs here and put LEDs in them.
What's your favorite cyberpunk book? Phil?
Favorite cyberpunk book? I mean, Snow Crash is kind of the one that everyone. I mean,
It's
what
like
are you
the
gonna
best
do?
one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like.
I read Diamond Age right after Snow Crash, and I liked it. It wasn't as
Yeah.
it didn't sound read like a movie to me as much as Snow Crash. But
Yeah, I think that's the one. And then there's so many different other genres that have things that I like about
when I was doing
the
research
aesthetic.
for our project this week, I was looking up all of the different cyberpunk derivatives, which has its own Wikipedia page.
How many old posts did you see of ours on Make or
yeah.
Adafruit? It's like, oh yeah, look,
Yeah, a lot.
Dune Punk. I'm trying to do Dune Punk.
Yeah, Dune Punk. Well, don't worry, I will
Yeah.
work on Dune Punk for
All right.
as a cyberpunk derivative. Anyway, on the blog this week, every week we have Wearable Wednesday. It's our hashtag for all things on Wednesday that are wearable. So if you're looking to find some inspiration for a future project, or get hyped up to share your project with us, and you want to see other people who have, you can look at the Adafruit blog. Every Wednesday, we have a whole bunch of posts.
Yeah.
By me and Leslie and Jessica and Amy, and everybody pitches in.
Yeah.
And there's really great stuff every week.
Yeah, someone in the Adafruit forums today asked a really good question. They said, is there any way just to subscribe via RSS to the wearable section? And the answer is yes. So what you do is you go and scroll down on the blog
Categories
and click
archive.
wearables.
Well, that link is also in the description of this video right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
the wearables category on the blog.
yeah, and then the RSS feed, if you go to view source, it's like adafruit.com/blog/feed/wearables. But you can just subscribe just to that if you want.
And just to any category on the Adafruit blog that you like. A lot of
Yeah.
RSS readers, if you just take the wearables category link that's in the link of
It
in the
auto
show,
finds it, yeah.
It'll auto find the RSS feed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what's
Or you
going
can
on?
use this to that or whatever. Yeah, you can use lots of other things.
Yep.
So this is a bracelet somebody made. Is 3D printed and it has NeoPixels inside and a trinket. And what's cool is it has this detachable magnetic section that houses the control circuitry and the battery that comes off, and then that is also how you put the bracelet on. So it's got an accelerometer in it, so it's motion. The color changes are motion activated. And
Yeah.
here's the trinket and the tiny battery and the little connector there, and magnets that make it join with the rest of the bracelet.
I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. And then we can have a highlight reel where I just said the same things over and over. A supercut, perhaps. But I think this is the year of 3D printing and electronics, because we have Trinket and Gemma, very small, low cost, all the
Small
battery
batteries.
stuff. And then we finally have stuff like NinjaFlex, and we have our team that's doing 3D printed enclosures for all this stuff. All that stuff came together.
Yeah.
And you and I were in the same boat, I think, where 3D printing was kind of just little throwaway things that you would never do anything with.
It's like plastic crap that I want less of in my life.
Yeah, and so now you can use it as a tool as part of your projects.
Right.
So we're starting to see that. The bracelet's a
Starting
really
to
good
see it.
example.
It is really cool. I find that like it's a skill overlap thing, right? So like not only do you have to be enthusiastic about and somewhat good at electronics, you have to be good at tidy wiring, putting things in small spaces,
Yeah.
but you have to be good at 3D modeling, which I like have barely dipped my toe into, and I'm way into crafts. And so like you have to have
Yeah.
somebody who likes electronics, likes 3D modeling, likes crafts, like all together. And so.
Yeah.
I think that like we're seeing it more and more because the tools are more available now, but like it does
Yeah.
take a special kind of person to work on these kinds
To
of
be
projects.
fair, you wouldn't dip your toe in it. You'd get a 3D scanner and scan your toe, and then you would print out a toe, and then the toe would go into. I mean, just
Yeah, you're right.
uh,
Yeah, you're totally right.
Technically, technically, you would not be dipping a toe in it. You'd be scanning it with a 3D scanner. Okay. What else is
Here's a
going on?
cool NeoPixel dress. An industrial designer wanted to try his hand at something
Yeah.
else and made this cool dress. It's got like a sort of laser cut or cut out overlay, kind of like our sparkle skirt that we picked to modify. And all the electronics are in the belt.
Yeah, we had Zach from Spark.io come in. They have the little CC3000 standalone Arduino-like device, and he said everywhere I go, I see NeoPixels. People are just wearing them constantly. So here's another neat example. So that was
Yeah.
good to hear. He's from Minnesota, so not just someone else in New York who's saying like, oh, I see your stuff at like the New York Fashion Week. Just someone
Right.
who's been traveling around. So that's nice.
Here is, independent of me, if she's watching, my former student, Katie McElroy. Amy picked up her cosplay tutorial on Instructables for this awesome TARDIS
Oh.
costume with LED fascinator. So the little light in the top of the phone booth is
yeah.
our super bright white LEDs and our coin cell, our two coin cell battery holder.
This is cool. Lots of Doctor Who stuff on the blog this year.
I know, right?
The last
She,
six,
she
8
also made
months.
a chameleon bag that's in the current issue of Make. It's got our RFID reader and the other kind of pixels, and you can like match you
Yeah.
put a tag in your bag, and it changes the color of the bag to match.
All right,
it.
this is a former student, so you did your
Yeah.
job. Your work
Yeah.
your work is done here.
She's a little bit of an overachiever.
Really? Okay. All right, that's good. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
just like me.
Okay, what's this?
This is this is another round activity monitoring waterproof wearable electronic device, and it's for dogs. It's called Whistle.
Yeah.
Leslie spotted this and put it on the blog today. It's so funny to me. We have like the Ice Dot and this thing and the Shine activity monitor. They're all and they're all round. They all have very similar sensing capabilities, like accelerometer, gyro, Bluetooth, low energy. This one also has Wi-Fi, so I'm excited to. I just ordered one to get. We're gonna tear it down, but I also wanted to try it out, of course, on my lovely dog who is constantly telling me that she needs more exercise.
Yeah.
And so it would help if I had an app also telling me that she needs more exercise. But it apparently has Wi-Fi too, which I'm really interested in. It joins your Wi-Fi network so that if Fido is home or at the doggy daycare center, you can get updates on
How
Fido's
much?
activity.
Do you remember how much it was?
$129.95. It's the same price as the Ice Dot, as the Fitbit. They're all the same
And it
price.
has Wi-Fi. And it must be pretty low power Wi-Fi. This is interesting. I'm curious what's inside this. I wonder if they're
Yeah,
using the
me
same
too.
chip we are.
And a lot of them have, for battery management, it says it lasts like 10 days. I think some of these are doing some smart coding where they're only turning on a certain chipset when.
Oh yeah, probably.
When some when it gets.
You might have to say like, now get on my Wi-Fi network, let me do stuff, and then it turns off.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because Wi-Fi is.
But I'm excited
power
because it's
hungry.
also supposed to be, there's an Android app, and I am an Android user, so with a
Yeah.
dog. So I'm excited to try this out and then open it up.
Yeah, I feel completely vindicated now because I had to pitch this
I know. You
dog
get the head
pedometer
every time.
thing, and it was called Healthy Steps, and everyone looked at me crazy. Now all there is
This
like
is a venture-funded West Coast startup.
a dog
So
food company should buy one of these dog
What
trackers.
do you think these guys are trying
Yeah,
to
they
do?
should.
Probably get bought, right?
They
I mean,
should.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to them about their business strategy.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing. I'm excited to get it. I hope that it goes well on my dog's collar, which is kind of thick and leather. I don't want to have to change her collar.
Yeah, we could devote an entire show every single week to like fitness trackers. There's
Yeah.
enough of them
I
now.
know
Yeah.
there's so many fitness trackers.
And then we'd have to have the one for pets.
Can we have? I thought you were going to say we could have a whole show devoted to pets.
Pet technology is big. Yeah, no, it is. It
Also,
is.
everybody likes
It is.
fuzzy cats and dogs.
For this one, they should probably talk to Cesar Milan, the dog whisperer guy, and he should probably endorse one of these if he really likes it.
Yeah. Well, his whole thing is exercise, discipline, affection.
Yeah.
And exercise is the very first thing. If you can't solve any of your dog's other problems if your dog doesn't get enough exercise.
Be the pack leader, Becky. That's what he says. And he goes,
Just a bite.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I probably can out Cesar Milan you.
Yeah.
so.
All right. Okay. Now back to cyberpunking. This is where now we're back
You've
to.
been cyberpunk.
Yeah, now we're back to cyberpunk. So this is the big project of the week. This is what we've been. This is
Yeah.
the drum roll. All right. So what's going on here?
We got some spikes. We also have spikes shown here. It's a flexible NeoPixel diffuser with spikes on it.
Yeah.
And we have a rad video to show you.
Yeah. Do you want to go right to the video? Or you want to look at some of the
we can
photos
talk about
first?
it afterwards.
Okay. All right. We're gonna go to the video.
Yeah.
I've done this hundreds of times.
You can make your own spiky light-up fashion accessories using 3D printing and Ninja Flex filament to diffuse the glow of some NeoPixel strip. Just download the file from the link in the description below and print your spikes in white or translucent Ninja Flex. Check out our video on this awesome stuff if you haven't already. The NeoPixel strip comes in a silicone sheathing. Slide in a few taped up magnets and then use a few more to attach it to anything in your wardrobe. After soldering on some wires, glue the spikes to the sheathing of the NeoPixel strip with Permatex 66B silicone adhesive, and also use a bit to seal up the ends. Let the glue dry overnight, then connect the wires up to Gemma, the tiny microcontroller that will control the colors and animations of the LEDs. Use a JST extension and slide switch to make this adapter. The switch fits through the side of the 3D printed enclosure, also in Ninja Flex. Then you can plug in a rechargeable LiPoly battery and pin or sew the enclosure to your garment. You can wear it over your shoulder, around your collar, on the strap of a bag, in your hair, and even wear it as a bracelet. If you're looking for something even flashier, try printing these crystal-inspired spikes, perfect for your next Cyber Dragon costume. Around the factory, we've been calling this look Baby Guar or Brony Punk. What would you call it? Leave your suggestion in the comments and subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
Okay. And we're back.
I think that this photo makes T, our lovely Adafruit colleague, look like YT from Snow Crash,
Yeah. This is.
or what I would imagine she would look like.
Yeah. When we were taking the photos, I thought it was like the covered ElfQuest 7 space version or something. Yeah. These are really good.
All she needs is a skateboard,
Yeah. I got
and
some
she
other
looks like
ones.
she's a future cyberpunk delivery girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Tingle took these fabulous photos.
Yeah. And then this is the crystal version.
Yeah, I showed Pedro and Noe like an inspiration picture of like this spiky crystal metal leather epaulette thing I found online, like not electronic at all.
Yeah.
And as like sort of like what I was looking for I don't know, I told them about this row of spikes, that they already made the row of spikes, and then I was like, oh, and like
Yeah.
look at this. I was thinking it would be over your shoulder like this, and I showed them that, and Noe went crazy and was like, oh, I gotta make a flexible one.
Is this Fraggle Punk?
This is I think Cyber Dragon.
Cyber Dragon.
I think that I think we need to send Phil B one.
Cyber Dragon?
So he can put it
okay.
into his-
glowing flexible spikes. And yeah, Fraggle Punk. Careful with that one. It's hard to say. I can't say it. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna say it again because I almost messed up. twice.
Fraggle Punk.
Fraggle Punk.
So here it is on the 3D printer. We printed this Ninja Flex on our MakerBot Rep 2 with a normal build platform and blue painter's tape down, and then we used a spring-loaded extruder and a kind of high extrusion temperature. You can read more specifics at the download page on the on Thingiverse for these files, the instructions
Yeah.
for printing them, but also do check out our Ninja Flex guide and video that gives you more tips for working with this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You can use it on your regular 3D printer, but there's just a few little tips.
And then here's the build of just the Cyber Dragon.
Cyber Dragon spikes. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, for if the regular spikes aren't flashy enough for you.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe we could go to the overhead. I can show you the inside of the
I
enclosure.
kind of want to print out like transparent chess sets and like wear like chess punk.
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool. Or like a Manhattan skyline would be cool. You
Yeah.
know, or like.
Let me focus in
Okay,
on here.
yeah. So on the overhead, I'm
There
going to
you
show
go.
you the inside of this circuit. It's the enclosure's printed in Ninja Flex 2, which is pretty cool. It's not like, it's not so floppy that it's going to crush your battery or anything, but it's floppy enough that when you pin it to your underarm or anywhere else, I had it in my hair. Also, it's like pretty soft and it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, that's a cool enclosure.
Yeah, and then the lid has like a little, I don't know, like a dovetail almost to the way the lid fits in, and there's a groove on the back of here, so that even though it's flexible, the lid still stays
Yeah.
on pretty well. And then these tabs are for sewing or safety pinning to your outfit, so it can be as temporary or as permanent as you want.
Yeah.
If you want it to be temporary, you can just safety pin this on. If you want it to be permanent, you can sew a pouch for the whole thing, or just stitch these guys to the inside of your jacket or something. And then
Yeah.
the switch is accessible, and the USB port on the bottom where the Gemma is there is accessible too.
Yeah. All right, well, this is just a reminder. Our Cyberpunk section is over now. But the code lives on. Cyberpunk, 10% off in Flora and Wearables category, expires 11:59 p.m. tonight. If you want to make all this stuff, you can get the Ninja Flux from us.
Yeah.
You can get the Gemma stuff from us. You can get the NeoPixels.
Everything but the silicone adhesive from us.
Yeah, we wanna sell
Magnets
that.
we sell.
I don't want to sell that.
You know, being a vendor of chemicals is not an easy thing to do.
I just don't want to send glue because you know what's going to happen? Like the post office screws up orders sometimes, and it's just regular electronics. Imagine if they screw up orders with glue, and it's like, oh, and like a customer's going to say, hey, the post office showed up. My dog is glued to the wall. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't even want to be involved with
the
that.
adhesive that we use is available at almost any hardware store. So yeah, everything is listed in the learning system guide on the
awesome.
right-hand side, so you can get almost everything you need to make this project in the Adafruit store, and you can get 10% off.
Yeah.
10% off.
I want to sell glue.
I don't want to sell glue either.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to use glue.
All right, component of the week.
We're having a very highly technical episode of Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern
Yeah.
today because the component of the week is this JSD extension cable. Ooh,
Yeah, but this is a big deal.
big deal.
This is a big deal. I know the origin story of this one, but why don't you say what it is, and then I'll
Okay.
tell you the origin story.
The JSD extension cable is a cool thing because it lets you, without soldering, connect your battery to your wearables project, like your microcontroller, like your Flora or your Gemma, from further away.
Yeah.
And that might not sound like a big deal, but maybe I can say it with more emphasis. Before this cable, which is not like the JSD, female JST port is not a thing that's designed to be soldered to wires. We had these custom made for us.
Oh, yeah.
Based on the problem of how do we make a completely solder-free Flora starter pack that allows people to put an alkaline battery pack, which is best for beginners, in the pocket of
Yeah.
their jacket and run the Flora up high so you can put LEDs around your face or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's no point in going to the overhead, I don't think,
Yeah, I
until
get
I
it.
show the thing we make out of this thing. So
Yeah, I could show you
in
the
this
thing.
project, in the Spiky project, generally you use it to be further away from your battery, but for Gemma and Trinket projects, you can use it to make this adapter. You just shorten it basically and solder two of the wires to the slide switch,
Yeah.
and that way you get this sort of like an on-off switch for Gemma and Trinket, which it doesn't have room for on the board, and then you can disconnect it and connect your rechargeable battery really easily for charging.
Yeah.
But it's safer than soldering straight to the battery.
So I'll give you the very short origin story. So 2 years ago, almost to the date, because this was in January, when we announced the Flora, you were just about to start at Adafruit, or like starting at the time, and we had the prototype, and I said to Lamore, "This sucks. Like we actually can't ship this yet because every wearable project, the wires aren't long enough.
Right.
They're just not, and so a lot of people will never be able to solder. That'll be the barrier. We wanted to make it really approachable." She said, "I don't think they make longer ones." I said, "We should get longer ones made."
Yeah.
This is when we were a smaller company. Like we weren't a player. Now the companies are like, "Oh, we want to make any type of cable for you." Before they're like, "Oh, well, okay, we can make
Really,
this."
I have some cable ideas.
Yeah. So it was, and the idea was it needed to be part of this like personal body network.
Right,
that
and it
would-
needed to be that you could use an alkaline battery pack. This one pictured
Yeah.
specifically, and you're not going to put that battery pack underneath your lapel. And beginners really should start with an alkaline battery
Yeah.
pack instead of lithium polymer rechargeable batteries, which are smaller but
Yeah.
not as safe for beginners. So this is great.
So all that had to come together. Like we worked on all the wearable stuff leading up to Flora, and then released Flora. And now we have everything in one package.
Yeah. So it's good for people who don't want to solder but want their battery far away. It's good for people who do like to solder and want a power switch for their Gemma and Trinket. It's a cool little
Yeah.
thing.
Okay,
Sorry,
material
it's
spotlight.
all
We
week.
keep zipping along here. What is this week's material, Becky?
It's magnets. How do they work? It's a miracle.
Science.
So magnets are featured in this week's project. We originally sourced these magnets, rare earth neodymium magnets, for the spoke pov, which is the bicycle wheel,
Yeah.
to keep the timing for the animation. But they work great inside the sheathing of the NeoPixel strip. We just added a little bit of tape to them to make them not short out the back of the NeoPixel.
And that's how they're held onto the jacket, right?
Yeah, I can show you on the overhead too.
Okay, we'll go to that.
They So here's the spike from the underside, right? Here's the side, here's a magnet in the middle, a magnet on each end, and all you do is put your garment and then this other magnet. They're so strong, see how it holds to it even through my finger. So you can really attach it to anything, like I could attach it to you.
Okay. I was gonna
Stick this magnet under your,
under my jacket.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so it's under my jacket now. Now what?
Bonk.
Okay.
Now it's attached to you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna hang out with this. Keep moving along.
Yeah, sure.
All
Now it's
right.
your spiked epaulette accessory. But we also have a magnetic pin back for Flora. Magnets are nice when you want to attach something to fabric without piercing through it. And but with a very secure connection, these magnets will hold a lot of weight. They're extremely strong. They're a little bit
They are.
dangerous, so I wanted to show you.
They will pinch your finger if you're
Yeah.
not careful with.
So that was that loud noise was me not pinching my fingers because
Yeah.
you let them like fly at each other, and then when you want to separate them, you kind of slide.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll hold through my face. No,
Don't do that.
not quite.
You could do it
People
through your
put
hand.
magnets on their.
You could do it. You could probably do it
just
through
did
my
it through my
hand.
hand.
Yeah, you could do it through my hand, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm mostly made out of metal, so this is. Oop.
That would be cheating then if you're mostly made out of metal.
Yeah.
I'm mostly made out of meat.
I'm not like everybody else. All right, so let's. Want to keep going?
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Just magnets?
Just
Okay.
magnets.
I'm
Just
gonna
these magnets.
I'm gonna leave this here.
You know, it's a product we sell in the store. Oh, there they go.
Okay, don't forget, if you want to buy a bunch of magnets, you can get them for 10% off. You can. All right, question and answer time, Becky. Everyone had questions. Becky has answers.
The prize this week.
Yeah, what is it?
It is a Flora budget pack.
That's a good prize. That's a nice prize.
Because you know why? I didn't want to give you a magnet and a JST extension cable. I thought I'd. Hey
Here
guys.
you go. Yeah, because you know why? Because like we'll send that in the mail, just get stuck to everything. It'll be JST throwaways.
I gotta say that magnets are a pain in the butt to ship.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do. I've seen packages that cut that like maybe not from us, but in
Yeah.
general on the internet, packages that where the magnet like gets ripped out of
Yeah.
rips a hole in the padded envelope.
Yeah. Ideas
Maybe
that
not pumping bubbles.
ideas that didn't make it in the GRL like brainstorming meeting. JST throwaways. Like, why? Why would you do that?
First class mail throwing.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
And here's packages just stuck to the conveyor belt.
All right.
Questions.
First question. Hi there. I made a light up jacket. I'm wondering if there's any kind of waterproof conductive adhesive that I can use to strengthen connection between the pixel pads and the power bars. I used a sewing technique used in the suspenders project.
Why are you trying to make a waterproof connection around conductive thread? That is confusing me. I think, I'm sorry to tell you this, but like many who have come before you, the answer to your question is I think you want to use wire and soldering. A waterproof connection that strengthens the connection between stranded metal and a pad of electronics, it's called solder, and it works with wire and like stranded wire would be
Sheet
great
wire.
for you. Yeah, and so if you're thinking that your conductive thread like connections aren't strong enough, you need to work on your sewing technique, not try to solve your problem with adhesives.
Okay. Next up, what is the easiest way to implement Bluetooth on a Flora project?
Well, I can tell you right now, and then Phil can tell you what's coming
Yeah.
up. So right now, you should get an Adafruit Blue Fruit Easy Link or Easy Key. The Easy Key acts like a keyboard, makes it easy to press buttons over Bluetooth, and
Yeah.
the Easy Link is a serial connection. They're just not formatted for sewing, so you can solder to them, or you can very carefully sew to the pads and try not to bump up against each other. We have a couple
Yeah.
Flora and
People have done already.
Easy Key projects in the learning system already.
Yeah. But we're about to release our Bluetooth low energy lineup of products, and we'll have a specific one for wearables. So depending on like how much you want to wait, sometimes waiting ain't easy.
Right. Well, if you're in school, you can't wait. You know,
Yeah.
like they need to do it now.
If you have a deadline, you can get what we have now. But we'll be releasing that soon, and we just submitted our app to the App Store for Bluetooth low energy. So we just got to wait for Apple to approve it.
It's exciting.
Yep.
But yeah, you can use our Blue Fruits already.
Next up, would using the Snow flexible filament to print a flat plate diffuse a NeoPixel strip in a way that you wouldn't see the individual LEDs anymore?
I don't think so in the way you exactly described it. I think you need a little bit more space between the LEDs and the diffusing material in order to sort of like soften the edges between LEDs. You're not going to make it look like EL panel by doing what you're describing. However, if you were to print like a box shape that's like flat, but it gives you a little bit more distance to the LED strip, I think you could achieve a relatively solid look. If
Yeah.
you're looking for a super solid look, just get the 144 density NeoPixel strip where the LEDs are like right up against each other,
Yeah.
and then diffuse that. But you can see here, I mean, we spaced these spikes to be exactly on top of the pixels. You know, they're the right, and like there's no discernible. I mean, yeah, between the spikes, the plastic is darker. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you trying to make? Tell me that. Remember, you can ask multiple questions.
Like some 90s villain, like the guy like the Crow fought or something like that, or RoboCop's like.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk villain.
I'm just on the
I
villain
think that
side.
they would let you into the concert because
Yeah.
you're not going to hurt anyone in the mosh pit.
Maybe the villain from like
You're a nice villain.
Fifth Element. Or
Yeah,
Fifth
yeah.
Element,
Yeah, totally.
Can get away with that.
Zorg would totally wear.
I think this is Zorg's outfit.
Yeah,
I went to Zorg's garage sale.
he has a little bit of more like this weird shiny lame thing
Yeah.
going on. He likes like iridescent materials more than glowing things.
Yeah. I don't
think
think
we
they
could
had.
make it work.
They didn't have that back then, or in the future. All right. Hi. Using it with batteries, where I have to install the switch to turn on and off the LEDs on the Flora, ground or V. Thanks. Oh, this is a trick question.
It is a trick question. So the answer, the real answer to your question is there is a switch on the Flora.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people overlook it. I can pull it out.
I think
and
it's
show it.
because not a lot of companies put switches on their microcontroller platforms, and we did. So
There's no switch on the Gemma, and so I feel like this was an appropriate question for today because I did show you in the video how to make an adapter that adds a power switch to the Gemma power line with a
Yeah.
JSD extension. But I'll show you on the overhead that the power switch for Flora is right here
Oh,
next
look.
to the on, and so you can just toggle this switch to turn the whole Flora on and off. And believe it or not, like those of you who already know this may be like, "Oh, this is stupid," but guess what? Like it's really common for people to not notice.
yeah,
And so I can't say it enough. Flora has a switch, and it's great.
yeah.
It can handle. It's a really robust switch too. It can handle. I don't remember like
We-
all of the power that the
Yeah.
power input can handle, like
We've
2
never had
amps or
anyone
something.
wear out the switch. It's great.
No.
Okay, that was all the questions, Becky. We're going to give away something now.
Okay,
We're gonna give away this Flora pack.
Flora budget pack. I just manhandled the Flora from inside it. Okay,
That's
if you
fine.
asked a question, your name is in this bucket. I'm going to pick your name. If you didn't ask a question that was on today's show, your name's not on the bucket. And if you want it to be in the bucket, ask a question in the comments, and I'll answer it on a future show. And maybe you too could get a Flora budget pack.
Put the questions in the bucket.
And then it gets the
And
prize.
then it gets the prize. All right.
The winner is Chang Chung, who wanted to know about the power switch on Flora.
Oh, great.
So it sounds like you already have a Flora. Now you have
Now you
extra
have-
parts.
now you have it too.
You could share it with a friend. Congratulations. Please email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize. I
Yeah.
will also send you a message on YouTube.
That's right. Don't forget, everyone, the code is Cyberpunk. 10% off Flora in the World category expires 11:59 p.m. tonight in celebration of us just going Cyberpunk crazy. Look at this. Woo! Cyber Dragon, Cyberpunk, Cyber everything. And that's it for the show this week. That went by super fast.
I always wanted to be a fashion designer.
Yeah, well, you are. You're in Soho designing things that people wear. Congratulations. This is the definition.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. This is it. It's only downhill from here.
Thank you guys all for watching. Join us again next week at 2 o'clock
Yeah.
Eastern Time on Wednesdays to see our delicious wearable show.
Yeah, we'll see everybody next week. And Ask an Engineer is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Show and Tell, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just go on Google+, look for Adafruit, post a comment, and show your projects. You can show wearables. You can show any type of project you want.
I love the show and tell. I race home on Wednesdays to go watch it, and it's a really fun platform for you to show off your projects if you don't have a blog, or even if you do
Yeah.
have a blog. It's a really fun time to share with everybody else. So
Yeah.
I would love to see your wearables projects there. I always get really excited when somebody everybody else. I feel like if you show up with a really great project, it's not a competition. We're celebrating everybody's projects, but when somebody shows up with a really impressive wearables project, I feel like everybody
Oh, they
goes,
up it.
"Whoa."
No, it's like skateboarding culture. It isn't like competition. It's like, whoa, I can't believe you pulled off that trick. It's more like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.